Hello, grade 12. How are you? I hope you all are fit and fine, staying at home. So, welcome back to my lecture. Chapter 6. The name of the chapter is Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So, today we will discuss the next part of the chapter. So, let's start this lecture. Start with structure of the DNA. DNA is basically the double standard polynucleotide molecule. The sugar and phosphate that forms the backbone of the DNA, and these bases that project it to inside. The two strands that are called each others and arranged anti-parallel. That means if one strand has fifth to third and then other has third to fifth in the direction. That's why these are the anti-parallel. The two strands of the DNA have the common diameter, that is 20 angstrom. And remember these 2 points: adenine of a one strand that always pair with thymine of another strand by the 2 hydrogen bond, and guanine of the one strand pair with cytosine of the another strand by 3 hydrogen bond. That means adenine always pair with thymine and guanine always pair with cytosine. Because of the complementary base pairing arrangement, if one strand of polynucleotide sequence is known, then another can be reduced. Example, if the sequence from 5th to 3rd, first strand is the A, G, C, T, T like that, then its complementary strand from 3rd to 5th, T, C, G, G like that. Okay? The complementary strand twisted each other at the distance of 34 angstrom, and each twist of DNA that contain 10 base pair. The distance between these two base pair are 3.4 angstrom. This is the double helix DNA structure. Okay, in this structure you can see adenine always pair with thymine and C always pair with guanine. Now central dogma. One way flow of genetic information from DNA to protein, that is called central dogma. Okay, that means if the information is transferred from DNA to RNA, then that transferred from RNA to protein. Now we will start with packaging of the DNA in prokaryotes. You know what is prokaryotes and eukaryotes? That I will not tell you. Prokaryotes that do not have definite nucleus, and the DNA is not scattered throughout the cell. It is held together with some protein in a region is called nucleoid, and the DNA in the nucleoid is organized in large loop that held by protein. Now the packaging of DNA in eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, DNA is stabilized with positively charged some basic protein, and the name of the protein is histone. Okay, histone is basically positively charged. Why? Due to rich in the basic amino acids. Basic amino acids like lysine and arginine. Histones are organized to form a unit of 8 molecules. That's why that unit called histone octamer. In the given picture, you can see nucleosome is there, in which histone protein and DNA is there, and DNA is wrapping around the histone protein, which form nucleosome. Okay. Now, negatively charged DNA wrapped around positively charged histone octamers to form a structure. That structure is known as nucleosome. DNA is a negatively charged because of the presence of phosphate group. The nucleosome are seen as a bead on the sting structure under electron microscope. Nucleosome form the repeating unit of a structure in nucleus called chromatin. The chromatin is packaged to form chromatin fibers. These are the further coiled and condensed at the metaphase stage to form the chromosome. In the grade 11 you already learnt about the metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Okay, so euchromatin in the nucleus, some loosely coiled region of the chromatin is there, that is known as euchromatin, which is light stained. heterochromatin in the nucleus more densely packed region of the chromatin that are known as heterochromatin. Heterochromatin is the dark stain. And euchromatin is transcriptionally active than the heterochromatin because euchromatin is light stain and that is heterochromatin is the dark stain. Remember that point. Okay. Next is transforming principle. Griffith conducted experiment to show transforming principle in bacteria. He conducted an experiment on mice and pneumonia bacteria, Streptococcus pneumonia. These bacteria are found in two strains. One virulent, that is smooth stain, and second non-virulent, which is rough stain. The S stain bacteria produce capsule, which is pathogenic, and the R stain that lack capsule, that's why it is non-pathogenic. That means capsule is responsible for its pathogenic nature. Okay. So in this slide you will see the rough stain bacteria that is non-virulent when injected in the mice, then mouse live, and smooth stain which is virulent, in that case mouse dies, and when heat kill smooth stain is injected in the mouse, in that case mouse lives, and rough stain injected with heat killed smooth stain injected in the mouse, in that case mouth again dies. Okay, so what is the reason behind that? So let's discuss. When the R stain are injected into the mouse, it is a non-pathogenic, I told you in the previous slide, and does not cause pneumonia. That's why mouth continue to live. When the S strain are injected into the mouse, that cause pneumonia, that's why mouse dies. And when heat kill S strain are injected into the mouse, that does not cause pneumonia, the mouse continue to live. And when the heat killed S stain and R stain are mixed and injected into the mouse, that causes pneumonia and the mouse dies. Okay, because in this case capsule has ruptured. So the conclusion of the experiment is the S strain bacteria that had been transformed by heat killed S strain bacteria. And the transformation of R stain to S stain is due to the transfer of the genetic material. The biochemical nature of genetic material was not defined from his experiment. Okay. So biochemical characterization of transforming principle. There was scientist Avery, MacLeod and McCarty in 1933 to 44 worked to determine the biochemical nature of transforming principle of Griffith experiment. So what they did, they purified biomolecules like proteins, DNA, RNAs. Okay, they purified biomolecule from heat kill S stain, and they added digestive enzyme of each to see which one could transform live R cells to S cell. Digestive enzyme for the protein, DNA and the RNA. Then when they added heat kill S stain with protease and live R stain, so what they see? They will see transformation of R stain to S stain. And when heat kill S stain with RNAs and live R stain, they again found transformation from R stain to S stain. But when they mix heat kill S stain with DNAs and live R stain, they find unable to transform R stain to S stains. Okay. So conclusion of the experiment is protein of the heat kill S stain, that is not the genetic material, and RNAs of heat kill S stain, that is also not a genetic material, DNA of the heat kill stain is a genetic material because DNA digested with DNAs and mixed with R stain. In that case, they unable to transform R stain to S stain. But all biologists are not convinced with this statement. So the rest part we will discuss in the next lecture. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, be happy, and thank you.